Hey, good morning, everybody. Just real quick, getting ready to wash the car. I just wanted to shoot a quick video about engine bay maintenance. So a couple of people have been asking me about it and what my procedure is. It's nothing earth-shattering, but maybe I can answer some questions, and if I leave anything on the table, by all means let me know, and we can have a conversation about that. Biggest thing about the engine bay, even though you might have all kinds of fancy stuff inside, don't overthink it. It's really not that hard. Everything under here is designed to withstand massive amounts of heat and be okay. So don't stress about it. Let's get her clean. Behind the camera, a couple of things to discuss. This is a 2016 vehicle, so obviously everything is sealed, everything is closed up and watertight and airtight, and everything's the way it needs to be. Couple of things. This is an aftermarket modification to the stock airbox. So if you notice, this is what came from Dodge, and then I ordered the kit from S&M Performance. If you want something like this for your charger, get on Facebook or snmperformance.com. He has them every once in a while. I don't know when he's gonna make another one, but I really like it. I never finished it. I kind of like the raw metal look and then the clear cover, but there's actually a high temp silicone that goes all the way around this plastic piece, and then the metal frame just goes on there to make it look pretty. Couple of things. Your mass airflow sensor in your intake tube. I always take a minute to check over everything just to make sure it all looks good. Yes, this is the American Brothers Designs catch can, which I actually need to check this. I'll do that in a minute. With the beautiful fittings in Destroyer Gray, because that's overall the theme I'm going to go with, is kind of a contusion blue, Destroyer Gray. I like the way the two look. Now this is Plasti Dipped, and I know Plasti Dip gets a really bad rap, but this was on this rough plastic, and you gotta give credit where credit's due. If you spray it right, yes, it has some texture to it, but that's because this is a textured plastic. This is the engine cover, obviously. And this blue, trying to remember what blue it is. I thought it was gonna be darker, but I just haven't taken the time to replace it just yet. But anyway, like I said, Plasti Dip looks good. It's on my caps as well, but neither here nor there. So if you get the American Brother Designs catch can, get the little braided piece, the mesh, the sleeves that go over that. Otherwise you're left with some janky looking tubes. But nothing that they did wrong. It was an option. I just cheaped out on myself. So other than that, down here, all these things are nice and sealed. But make sure you're not blowing water directly in there, and you're not like taking your pressure washer and trying to shoot it up in here. Same thing with your oil cap. Think about it logically. Just rinse things off. Now, right here I have a little breather, just because I had an aftermarket intake to where there was a tube going from here into the intake, so I just put silicone over it and called it a day. So like I said, everything is sealed up now. If you have an aftermarket cold air intake with an exposed filter, obviously cover that with a bag, just because the actual media of the intake could get messed up. If you have exposed battery terminal or an alternator or anything crazy like that. So just make sure you're not blowing water directly down into your alternator And if you do get water down there, which we will, you'll see that that we blow everything down. So I just use an all-purpose cleaner in the engine bay, something like Optimum Power Clean. This is diluted 3 to 1, I think, 4 to 1. So I'll rinse the motor down or the whole engine bay. I'll rinse everything down and then go through with Power Clean, give everything a nice spray over, come through with a lug nut brush, just kind of agitate everything. We don't have to do anything crazy. Now, if you've got a bunch of grime and gunk and nastiness up in the hood liner, you can clean that out, but I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna be chasing it for a while. I've done it for a couple of buddies before, and it takes a while. So just be mindful of that. Otherwise, like I said, I don't really overthink the engine bay. Okay, now taking our blow dryer, which all this is a shop vac that has a blower detachment. This is the main power unit, and then hook up a little nozzle to increase, because we're decreasing the size of the orifice. We're going to increase the pressure, and it blows out quite nicely. I already needed a shop vac, so I just picked one. With this, I plan on getting a leaf blower, probably one of the Ego leaf blowers, because it's battery powered pretty soon. But for now, this works. So let's get her dried off. Now, my engine bay wasn't completely trashed. If yours is, it might take a little bit more work overall, but if you notice, you know, everything's clean. I mean, it's still a little damp. I'm not worried about that really too much. But you know, here's a plastic dip that still looks just fine. It didn't strip off. It's not going anywhere. I think I did, for those that are curious, I think I did 3 or 4 coats of this gray with a couple of coats of the blue on top. I realized that it wasn't going to get any darker, so now it just kind of looks a little goofy, so it still needs to be replaced. But neither here nor there. Like I said, these strut tower caps, there's nothing wrong with them. You know, the plastic dip's not peeling. I used a pretty significant all-purpose cleaner on them, and they're fine. If you noticed, I blew out the filter right there. I made sure to blow out any residual water in the mass airflow sensor connector. Don't need any issues with that. Just blew pretty much all the water down. So there's gonna be a little bit of dampness, but I'm getting ready to wash the car, so I'm not really worried about it. But yeah, I mean, she's clean. I don't put any dressings on my engine bay. It's just personal preference. Now, if I'm gonna go to a car show or something like that, what I will go through after I've got the engine bay cleaned out is Adam's in and out spray, or I don't have any more, is the Meguiar's hyper dressing, because that's off of Obsessed Garage. Mr. Matt Mortman suggested that, and I tried it and it looks pretty good. But yeah, dressing any of this in here, not really a priority for day to day. This is my daily. We just rolled over 15,000 miles of awesomeness. But if you have any more questions, please drop me a comment below or hit me up on Instagram. If you don't follow me there, jump on over and give us a follow. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you like this, let me know. Give me some feedback on what y'all want to see. Thanks so much for watching.